All right, folks. I'm doing something a little bit different this time. I'm doing a little bit more of a hardware thing. Essentially, what I'm doing is I'm going to show you how to set up a mix minus on a mixer. So this mixer, I've had it for a long time. It's an 8-channel mixer, and anyway, let's see if we can show you here what we're looking at. So the first thing that we need to look at is just what's coming in and what we're going to mix in and out, right? So this right here this right here is my microphone. Okay, that's where my microphone comes in. And then this right here, I actually have a second microphone coming in, but right here, this is the input from my computer. Okay, so I've got those two inputs are kind of the ones that really matter, because and this really mattered when I was doing recordings into a digital player like the Zoom H6. But and I should do a video on the Zoom H6 because I love that thing to death. Anyway, so you have them coming in here. So this is channel 3 and this is channel 1. Okay, and then if we look at the knobs right over here, you can see that for the master output, this is all in the master output. You know, this is turned up. This one's turned down because it's just a second microphone, but this is also turned up, right? So on the master output, which I don't have a cord in right now, but if I was going to put that through to a recorder of some kind, then I would just set that up and they would both come out of there just fine. But when I send the sound back to my computer, or my microphone, remember, comes in right here, so I want that to go back out to my computer. And the problem is that I don't want this to come back out to the computer, because otherwise people are going to hear themselves come back, after whatever delay there is, sending their voice to my computer, and then my computer sending it out to the mixer and then back to them, right? So that's not good, right? So what we need to do is we need to turn it down. And we need to turn it down basically on a separate output. So this right here is the FX output. And what that is that's just another output that you can use. And these red knobs control how much volume goes into the FX output, right? In other words, going back to the computer. So I've got the output on FX for my microphone turned all the way up. And the reason is because I want to send my voice back to the computer, okay? Then I've got this one. This one's turned about halfway up, and I just don't use it, so it doesn't really matter. But then you've got these other two that are turned all the way down, and this one is the third input, which is what that's plugged into. And so what that does is it says, don't send this at all. Don't send the input from the computer at all out through the FX port. And then I can send the FX port back to my computer through the audio in, and all it gets is these two channels, because they're the only ones that have volume turned on. Now I'm actually going to turn that off because I don't want to worry about it. But anyway, that's essentially how that works. If I ever hooked a microphone up to that, looking at doing some podcasting with my kids. So anyway, that's essentially the mix minus, because it's a mix of everything that I have turned on minus whatever I have turned all the way down. And so it's a mix minus. And that allows me to run my microphone, because it has the XLR plug. It doesn't have a USB plug, into a USB sound card. And then I can run everything from there. Now, if you're going to buy brand new, I don't recommend you get a mixer board. It doesn't make sense anymore. Instead, what you probably want to do is just get one of the XLR to USB conversion gizmos, and then just hook that up, and that'll do all of the work that you need it to do. So if I were to buy this all again, I bought this way back in the day because recording on the computer was less reliable 11 years ago, and so I bought a mixer board. I could bring everything in, and then I could manage the mix. But in this case, now I would just buy one of those. In fact, I've been tempted to for a while to just buy one of those, because then I wouldn't have to worry about all of the cords and mess, and I could get this off my desk. But if you find yourself, you have a mixing board, you don't want to go buy one of those appliances, then by all means set this up. And this is a good way to do a mix minus. And then you can record it into a Zoom H6 or an Edirol. I have a couple of those as well, the Roland R5s or whatever they are. So anyway, that's more or less what you could do. You could also pipe the output here into a phone or something like that if you needed to, use that for something else. But anyway, that's basically the situation there. So that's how you set up a mix minus. And until next time, folks, max out.